It's been more than a week since the new NBA 2K19 was released, and those who have been following the sports simulation franchise in recent years would naturally want to know just how deep the microtransactions go this time around. The reason behind that specific query is because the last installment was more pay-to-play than pay-to-win. 2K Sports was heavily criticized at the time for locking just about everything behind a paywall. The system was purposely designed to force players to grab their wallets at every turn, not just for the optional cosmetic items, but for actual progression in the single-player career mode. Surprisingly enough, NBA 2K18 still managed to sell more than 10 million copies across all platforms. This pushed the franchise itself to move over 80 million copies worldwide, a giant feather in the corporate cap. For the players, however, the silver lining came in the form of the publisher admitting that it went overboard with the business model, and a promise was made to review the problem with the next installment. Well, the new NBA 2K19 is now here. So where does it stand in terms of microtransactions? Did the publisher keep its earlier word on making life easier? Greetings, I am Wes Malik from Segment Next, and here is what basketball fans need to know. The good news is that the latest entry does take a step back from bleeding players for money. The bad news is that the bleeding has not really stopped. It has only lessened by a bit, and 2K Sports has just found a different vein to continue siphoning the life force off of the community. Much of the core content is still locked behind a paywall. The only difference is that players now earn more virtual currency from traditional progression. This would appear to be a step in the right direction, except for the underlying problem of NBA 2K19 demanding even more of that currency than before. Hence, players may feel grateful for filling up their coffers, but they will soon have to empty them as well for just about everything, such as performance boosts, vehicles, clothing, and such. The other important thing to note here is that leveling in the career mode is not tied to gameplay. Players must buy upgrades or else they will never perfect those jump shots regardless of how much time they spend on the court. This ultimately paves way to grinding or hitting the store to spend real-world money for large amounts of VC to save time. There's no other way to defeat this relentless assault. Those dreaming about starting fresh and leveling up their teams in NBA 2K19 are in for a rude awakening. The stats at the beginning are incredibly poor, and almost every second shot is guaranteed to miss. It would actually serve better if players just purchased the NBA 2K19 20th Anniversary Edition from the get-go, which comes with 100,000 VC to spend on enough improvements to forego the aforementioned grinding process. The only catch here is that the specific edition comes at a steep $100 cost. To emphasize on the same point even further, know that the cost of upgrades increases as players improve their ratings. The first upgrade might require a few games initially, but that will move up to a point where it can take days or even weeks to amass enough funds to reach the next tier. So what did 2K Sports manage to achieve this year? While the last installment was pay-to-play, the new NBA 2K19 is unquestionably pay-to-win. Expect the publisher to make another promise in the coming weeks to look into the same payment problem with the next installment. What are your thoughts about the microtransactions in NBA 2K19? Let us know in the comments below. NBA 2K19 is now available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.